The ABC of Money, written by Andrew Carnegie, was originally published in 1891. This audiobook is produced by Wealth Books. Copyright 2024. The views contained in this recording are those of the author only and do not necessarily reflect those of Wealth Books. The ABC of Money. I suppose everyone who has spoken to or written for the public has wished at times that everybody would drop everything and just listen to him for a few minutes. I feel so this morning, for I believe that a grave injury threatens the people and the progress of our country simply because the masses, the farmers and the wage earners do not understand the question of money. I wish therefore to explain money in such a simple way that all can understand it. Perhaps someone in the vast audience, which I have imagined I am about to hold spellbound, cries out, "Who are you? A gold bug, a millionaire, an iron baron, a beneficiary of the McKinley Bill?" Before beginning my address, let me therefore reply to that imaginary gentleman that I have not seen $1,000 in gold for many a year. So far as the McKinley Bill is concerned, I am perhaps the one man in the United States who has the best right to complain under it, for it has cut and slashed the duties upon iron and steel, reducing them to 20, 25, and 30%, and if it will recommend me to my supposed interrupter, I beg to inform him that I do not greatly disapprove of these reductions as an American manufacturer. I intend to struggle still against the foreigner for the home market, even with the lower duties fixed upon our product by that bill, and I am not in favor of protection beyond the point necessary to allow Americans to retain their own market in a fair contest with the foreigner. It does not matter who the man is or what he does, be he a worker in a mine, factory or field, farmer, laborer, merchant, manufacturer, or millionaire. He is deeply interested in understanding this question of money and in having the right policy adopted in regard to it. Therefore, I ask all to hear what I have to say, because what is good for one worker must be good for all, and what injures one must injure all, poor or rich. To get to the root of the subject, you must first know why money exists, and secondly, what money really is. Let me try to tell you. Taking a new district of our own modern country to illustrate how money comes. In times past, when the people only tilled the soil and commerce and manufactures had not developed, men had few wants, and so they got along without money by exchanging the articles themselves when they needed something they did not. The farmer who wanted a pair of shoes gave so many bushels of corn for them, and his wife bought her sunbonnet by giving so many bushels of potatoes. Thus, all sales and purchases were made by exchanging articles by barter. As the population grew and wants extended, this plan became very inconvenient. One man in the district then started a general store, kept on hand a great many of the things that were most wanted, and took for these any of the articles that the farmer had to give in exchange. This was a great step in advance, for the farmer who wanted half a dozen different things when he went to the village had no longer to search for half a dozen different people who wanted one or more of the things he had to offer in exchange. He could now go directly to one man, the storekeeper, and for any of his agricultural products, he could get most of the articles he desired. It did not matter to the storekeeper whether he gave the farmer tea or coffee, blankets or a hay rake, nor did it matter what articles he took from the farmer, wheat or corn or potatoes, so he could send them away to the city and get other articles for them that he wanted. The farmer could even pay the wages of his hired men by giving them orders for articles at the store. No dollars appear here yet, you see. All is still barter. The exchange of articles very inconvenient and very costly because the agricultural articles given in exchange had to be hauled about and were always changing their value. One day the storekeeper would be willing to take, say, a bushel of wheat for so many pounds of sugar, but upon the next visit of the farmer, it might be impossible for him to do so. He might require more wheat for the same amount of sugar. But if the market for wheat had risen and not fallen, you may be sure the storekeeper didn't take less wheat as promptly as he required more. It was just the same with any of the articles that the farmer had to offer. These went up and down in value. So did the tea and the coffee, the sugar and the clothing and the boots and the shoes that the storekeeper had for exchange. Now it is needless to remark that in all these dealings, the storekeeper had the advantage over the farmer. He knew the markets and their ups and downs long before the farmer did, and he knew the signs of the times better than the farmer or any of his customers could. The cute storekeeper had the inside track all the time. Just here, I wish you to note particularly that the storekeeper liked to take one article from the farmer better than another, that article being always the one for which the storekeeper had the best customers, something that was most in demand. In Virginia, that article came to be tobacco. Over a great portion of our country, it was wheat. Whence comes the saying, "as good as wheat"? It was taken everywhere because it could be most easily disposed of for anything else desired. A curious illustration about wheat I find in the life of my friend, Judge Mellon, of Pittsburgh, who has written one of the best biographies in the world because it is done so naturally. When the judge's father bought his farm near Pittsburgh, he agreed to pay, not in dollars, but in sacks of wheat, so many sacks every year.